Hi, I'm Scott McCowan with Arizona Families for Home Education, or as we call it, AFHE. A few months ago, I received an email from a professor at Arizona Christian University, and he said that homeschoolers were doing very well in his classes, and he wanted to know if there was a way to connect more with the homeschooling community and the university. What was interesting is that we've been hearing a lot of this from several universities. And from the homeschooling side, we get a lot of questions from parents who are asking how to effectively homeschool through high school, and will homeschooling really prepare your child for the university level? So instead of just hearing from one of us, I thought it would be a great idea to interview Dr. Matt Spivey, the professor who reached out to AFHE, and let you hear from him about how homeschoolers are doing so well at the university level. So I'm here today with Dr. Matt Spivey, who is head of the English department at Arizona Christian University. Thanks for having us here today.
Thank you. Welcome to our beautiful new campus.
It is gorgeous, and I'm excited for you guys. In this library, the architecture is amazing, and it is nice in this digital age to see so many books that you can touch and actually feel the pages.
Completely agree.
So you had reached out to us with an email, and before I get to that, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, and how long have you been here at Arizona Christian University?
Well, I've taught at some capacity here at Arizona Christian for about 10 years now. I've taught at other universities here in the Valley, but about 4 years ago, I was brought on to kind of rebuild and strengthen the English program here at Arizona Christian, and I've been happy to do it.
So what was it that caused you to reach out to us, and what was it that you were noticing about homeschoolers?
Well, as a professor, I'm in the classroom every day with students, and so that's the perspective that I'm offering for you and your viewers here. And what I started to notice after all these years of teaching was that when I would talk to students and learn about their backgrounds and find out where they came from and who they are, I tended to notice a trend that a lot of my better students who were succeeding and very high skilled in my classes often had the same answer. When I would ask them, where are you from? What's your background? Where'd you go to school? They would say, well, I was homeschooled. And so I then, upon noticing that trend, a lot of our conversations would end up with, well, you're doing a great job. How do I find more of you to get into my classes? And one young lady last semester said, well, I know someone who's influential in the state of Arizona homeschool program, and I can give you his information. And so I said, if you're comfortable with that, I'd love it. And the next day in class, she brought it to me, and I contacted you just out of curiosity and wondering what I could do to help and to be a part of that environment. And we've had a number of really good conversations, and here we are today.
That's wonderful. So from a professor's perspective, what are some of the characteristics that makes a person thrive at the university level?
I think there are a few qualities that any student going to any type of university can do to become successful. First, I think be intellectually curious. If you think that college is about, well, I already know what I want to do, and I'm just going to take those types of classes, and then I'm going to get a job in that field, and that's all I need to know, first of all, that's not how the world actually works. Right. No one actually does that. Yeah. And secondly, you're not using college for what it really should be, which is to explore lots of different ideas. So trying out different electives, talking to all sorts of different types of professors, engaging in as many activities as you can, because you never know where something interesting might present itself. Secondly, being a disciplined, diligent, focused student. As we all know, college is a place where there's more freedom for people than ever before. You don't have a bell in your high school telling you where to go every minute of the day, or your parent telling you what to do all the time. There's a lot more independence, and that takes a lot of discipline on the part of students. Yes, there's times to relax and have fun, of course, but to be able to put yourself on a schedule to know that these things need to get done, that's a skill students sometimes struggle with when they arrive at a college campus. I think lastly, being excellent at the basics. Every year in the fall, I show my students a survey from a company or from an organization that polls companies across the country. And they ask, what are you looking for skill-wise from your new hires, from those newly college from those new college graduates who you're going to look to hire. And every single year at the top of the list, it's, can they read? Can they write? Can they speak? Do they use logic and critical thinking? Can they collaborate with others? Can they work together in teams to solve problems? And usually way down the list is computer programming, social media familiarity. Those skills are important, but the things that really indicate a successful student still are those people skills, those basic classical skills. And so if you can do those three things, and those homeschool students that I'm referring to, those are skills I've seen them already be very, very good at. And so that's exciting. So for those families out there already doing that and emphasizing those skills, keep it up, because that's the path to success at college.
That's wonderful. What are some of the things that makes Arizona Christian University a unique university and potentially a good option for the homeschooling community?
Arizona Christian is very unique, especially in the state of Arizona, where there aren't as many four-year university options as there are in other states. We have a lot of things that really separate us from other schools. From an on-campus, daily kind of characteristic of our school, we are a school that is small on purpose. We're trying to grow like every other university, of course, but we think that our size, under 1,000 students, is an advantage, because it provides lots of interaction for students among themselves to collaborate, work together, make friends, as well as their connections to professors. At Arizona Christian, you'll never be in a class in a 600-seat lecture hall where your professor never knows your name. That's just never something we are going to do. Lots of mentorship opportunities and collaboration opportunities, because we're a smaller school. We also have, I think it's 90% of our students are involved in extracurriculars of some kind, whether that's music and drama programs, sports, student leadership activities, academic clubs. I'm the faculty advisor to our Literature and Creative Writing Club, and the student president of our club is a homeschool student, and she's awesome. So there's all sorts of opportunities to get plugged in, and you're never going to get lost in the shuffle of thousands of students like you might at other universities. So that's some of the day-to-day on-campus environment that we offer. But zooming back out from a philosophical standpoint, the thing that really makes us unique is everything we do on our campus, from spiritual life to social life to academics to everything else, is done from a Christian worldview and cultural values. That's something that really binds us all together. It keeps us all on the same page as we explore lots of different opinions and different ideas. That's the thing we always come back to. And that's something that really sets us apart from other schools. Our vision statement is to equip Christ followers to transform culture with truth. And as you and I know, truth is a bit harder to come by now in our world than it ever was, with endless TV channels and social media platforms and everyone talking at the same time. It's hard to know what truth is. And at our school, that is where we begin, with truth. And the values that we then use to support our education here, I would think, are a lot of the same values that your homeschool families align with. Freedom of speech, that we're all here to share ideas and listen to each other. Freedom of school choice. We believe that people should choose what they want in their education. Freedom of worship, to express their faith how they'd like. Free markets, that we embrace entrepreneurism and capitalism. The sovereignty of individuals and the stability of families as the foundation of our culture. Not government, not big institutions. It all starts with individuals and families. And so those are the values that we imbue everything in our program on this campus with. And we're very proud of that, and I think that's what makes us unique.
Well, that's great. It sounds like you all here at Arizona Christian University offer a lot for the homeschooling community, and similar values already with a lot of the homeschooling community. What they're teaching their children at home gets to be supported and reinforced again at the upper level education.
Absolutely.
So recently, I was telling you a little bit as we got to know each other about the Homeschooling Convention that we put on every year. And I was able to have you come, and gracious that you came. And so what are some of the thoughts that you had as you saw thousands of homeschoolers here in Arizona? What are some of those thoughts that you had?
I was just really overwhelmed by the passion for education from those parents and kids. You can feel it when you walk into that hall that people are excited about educating their children, and that they're not only willing, but they're excited about taking on such a big responsibility, and that's just fantastic to see. I loved walking by and visiting the young entrepreneurs booths, getting kids excited about using their creativity to produce things of value in the marketplace at such a young age. I was blown away by that. And then just so many booths with curriculum options that were either aligned with Christian worldview education and or a classical liberal arts focus. Well, those are the two things we do here at ACU. So to see so many families already on that track of the type of education we offer here was very exciting to see, because we want as many young people as possible to be trained in that way. And so all of those things made it an exciting event. I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah, that was great. It was good to have you with us. So to the homeschooling parent that's working diligently to get their child ready for upper level education, what would you say to them?
Well, I think when you're exploring your university options, obviously there are a lot of those practical concerns. You need to think about cost, of course, and location. How close or far away would you like your student to be? Yeah. The program availability and resources that are available for those particular students and what they want to study. Those are things everyone has to think about. But I would also encourage families and parents especially to think about the mission and vision of those universities, exploring who they are and why they do what they do. What do they believe in, and why have they developed their educational atmosphere in the way that they have? We at ACU, when you log on to arizonachristian.edu, right on the homepage, it's very clear to tell that, as I said before, what we do here is Christian worldview and cultural values. And it's right there in front of everyone to see. If you go just to the right-hand corner of the page, and one simple click shows you our mission and vision statements. So it's something that we are proud to share, and I would think other universities would want to do that too. Strangely, some universities don't. It's hard to tell on some university websites what they believe and why they're doing what they're doing. And you as parents need to know exactly what you're getting your families into when you go into higher education. And there's a statistic that's been around for a while now. I heard it probably 10 or 15 years ago, but I think it still holds today, that of young people who are raised in a Christian household, when they go to college, upwards of 70% of those Christian students fall away from their faith to some degree or another. So, the worldview that you have been instilling in your child for 18 years could be lost pretty quickly if it's not nurtured and cultivated and strengthened by the type of university you're looking for. So again, at ACU, that's what we do. We're very open about it. We are just one choice among many, but I think the thing to look for those parents is not just the basic practicalities of what higher education is, but really try to do the research on what those schools stand for and what they believe.
Yeah, that's great. So to the homeschooling student that's considering their options and looking at different choices that are out there, what would you say to that student that's looking right now for a higher level education?
I would say listen to your parents. If they're the ones footing the bill, they have the final say. At least that's the way it was with my folks. But assuming that you and your parents are on the same page, which is a great place to start, I think there's a few things you can do when you're exploring your college options. I would try to visit and be involved in as many college activities as you can. I know if the school is out of state, that's harder to do, of course, but if they're local, don't just come take the basic tour. Try to sit in on some classes. I'm always happy to have parents and students visit my classrooms. Go to a sporting event or a musical event. Like get a sense of what it's like to be on that campus. Talk to people. I think a second thing to do is to try not to get caught up in some of the flashy, trendy things that a lot of universities offer. Some of those things are nice and they sound great, but you're committing to something for a long period of time, and you want to make sure that you're really in it for the right reasons. It's almost like you're in a relationship for the next 4 years. Relying on or getting hooked on superficial, trendy things probably isn't the good foundation for a long-term relationship. So find the values and goals that that school offers that really align with what you're trying to accomplish. And lastly, I think find the school that's the best fit for you specifically. Try not to be swayed by websites or magazines or even what your friends might be doing.
Right.
Everyone has different goals
Yeah.
for what they want to accomplish, and not every school is a perfect fit for every student.
Yeah.
So finding the place that best fits what you actually want to become is really a good choice for students as they weigh their college options.
That's great. If some of the parents or potential students had any questions, do you mind if we give them or make readily available your contact information?
Absolutely. If you have questions regarding application or the financial process, things like that, please contact our Arizona Christian experts in those
Right.
departments, the admissions department. But if you have questions about academics or what we do in the classroom and how we teach students and what we believe in, feel free to contact me. I'm also available to help families in whatever way they need. If their co-op is working on a certain English-related project, reading a novel or writing a project of some kind that they want advice on, like what do you guys do in college? I'm happy to help anyone who wants help.
That's
So please do give my information.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for having us here today, and it has been a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm sure that our community is going to see much more of you soon.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, as you can tell from my interview with Dr. Spivey, homeschoolers aren't just doing well at the university level, they're thriving. And not just here at ACU, but other universities are also confirming that homeschoolers have higher GPAs, and a higher percentage of them are graduating than those who are coming from public and private schools. Today, homeschooling through high school gives you more options than ever before, and it allows you to craft a specific educational journey that is bent towards your child's learning style and gifts, which prepares them to be successful in life. Thank you for watching and have a great day.